And this is a dragon.
And this is a unicorn.
And we are other creative creatures.
Oh boy, are we other.
Yes.
We're other, we're creative, we're creatures, we're the whole.
We're creatures of the night.
And creatures in the creator sense too.
Yes, we're very creative. So welcome to Dragons, Unicorns, and Other Creative Creatures with
Rona Gofstein and
Dr. Kevin. So,
yes.
You and I were talking off camera about something that I'm going to bring on camera.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to expose one of your conversations with me.
Everything is fodder.
Okay. I had asked you about whether you were interested in the new movie coming out called Book Club.
Yes.
And so...
It's like Sex and the City for the next generation up.
Yes.
Or several generations up.
And I'm a huge Grace and Frankie fan.
I want to know the name of Jane Fonda's wizard on Park and 73rd.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't sing that next line. It's public access. You set me up.
Go Google it.
Gotta buy myself a fancy pair.
Yes.
Tighten up the derriere.
That line you can sing.
Yeah, I can sing that part of it.
Yes.
Anyways, so we have that coming out about you got Candice Bergen.
Mary Steenburgen, Diane Keaton.
And Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda, yes, who are all reading 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes, and having a great time.
And it affects their life.
And then you brought up that the new Ocean's 8
is coming out, which is set at the Met Gala, which actually just happened, and is an all-women cast. Another one.
Cast? Yes.
Yes, none of the men from Ocean's 8 or from the Ocean's movies are in it. There's a reference, I think, to Danny, is her brother. She's just gotten out of prison, and she's ready to get back to work.
Yeah.
And she's getting the gang back together.
Yeah. So I think that it's even somewhat impressive that we've got two major movies releasing that have a predominantly, majorly female-themed cast.
Yes, and with Book Club, it's the older generation, which supposedly, women over 40, have trouble getting cast. If you watch the movie The First Wives Club.
Love that movie.
I think the book is even better, but in it, Goldie Hawn has this great line. She says, women have 3 stages: babe, district attorney, and driving Miss Daisy. And as you start to watch movies, once you know that line, you start to say, oh, look, district attorney, this is her district attorney years, obviously. And we've certainly seen all 4 of those women in their district attorney years. And this should supposedly be their driving Miss Daisy time. I think Fonda admits to being 80.
Fonda is 87.
No.
86, 87. Woo! I'm pretty sure.
Damn! She's doing great, and it's wonderful to see. And so, again, not only this should be their driving Miss Daisy time, and obviously 50 Shades of Grey has nothing to do with that kind of, image. So I think it's wonderful. It's definitely girls' night out movie time with certain gentlemen friends thrown in, of course.
Oh, well, I'm going to go see it. I mean, again,
I want them to have huge box offices so that they do more of this.
Yeah, well, with time, gravity's not always your friend. The box office spreads a little, so we can wish them luck.
That's a terrible thought. No, but I do hope they open strong for all of them.
I do too, and we have had generational. One of my all-time favorite movies is the original The Women, which had no males in the cast, based on
brilliant.
Clay Booth Luce.
Yes.
Play, witty dialogue, strong females.
Oh, huge.
And you had a period where you had some really strong females that...
you had Rosalind Russell in that movie, and Joan Crawford, and she was strong in a different way, but, and Norma Shearer, and it's a monster
Mary
cast.
Pickford.
Huge cast.
Marjorie Main.
Yeah.
But you had a period where you had people like Joan Crawford and Betty Davis and Tallulah Bankhead and really powerful. And then somehow it's almost like we went through this period where we kind of put them all in crinoline and back rolls.
I think it was called the 50s.
Yeah, and they never really quite survived.
No, not the way
theater.
they were. Yeah,
I mean, it was
well,
like,
maybe this is the renaissance that we need.
I think so, and I will always lift my hat to those people those women, because it was pretty much mostly women that created the blowback of the Hayes Act.
Yes.
Because it was Mae West and it was Sophie Tucker and it was these women that were out there and freewheeling, free speaking, talking about things that made you know they were sleeping with their boyfriends or they
just
were
enjoying themselves.
Highly powerful sexual beings that didn't take crap from nobody. And and what you did is you had all of these, constipated old white men get their shorts in a knot and say, "Oh no, that's not the proper."
We want this back. We want
yes, you have to either be the Vestal Virgin or the long-suffering mother.
Long-suffering. I don't do long-suffering.
Of course, every now and then you did have a few characters show up, like Emma Peel or Granny Clampett.
I can't believe you just put those two in the same sentence. That's like hurting my head. Not that I didn't like Granny Clampett. She was a hoot, but
she was a powerful woman.
And knew how to use a shotgun.
And knew how to wrestle.
Bears, wasn't it?
No,
Why do I know this?
She did. There was several movies where they had several of the sitcoms where she got involved in wrestling. Her and Ellie Mae, and they would beat the wrestlers, and
why is that in my head?
Granny Clampett ran a wrestler out of the ring, the big tough guy, and he's on the corner crying because Granny beat him.
Oh, Granny. Oh my.
So speaking of powerful women who are here making a difference in the world, why don't you introduce today's guest?
I will. Our guest today is Jess Steytler, who is an information professional who is too practical to go to art school.
Informational professional.
Yes.
Go ahead.
She's an archivist.
She's an archivist.
It's another fancy word. Actually, it's a subterm for librarian.
It's a subterm.
Well, librarians, and then there's... Anyway, she was born in Boston, but she grew up in Ohio.
We'll get rid of her subterms. Go ahead.
She grew up in Ohio. She returned to her city of origin for grad school, but within months of her return, she found her nerdy tribe who introduced her to the science fiction conventions, and Aresia in particular, where she exhibits her art each year. That's actually where I came across her work. Jess's artistic endeavors are varied, but her current focus is on polymer clay. All it took was a few key resource books on the purchase of a pasta machine, not to make pasta with, and Jess was off making increasingly complex patterns and winged creatures, butterflies, fairies, and dragons. Dragons. There are dragons involved in this.
She doesn't make unicorns?
Oh, yes. In 2007, Jess discovered
Go ahead.
the joy of upcycling Altoids and tea tins, transforming otherwise disposable metal into useful works of art. While her attention has been redirected to slip painting in the last year, Jess is still dedicated to her long-standing fascination with decorating boxes. And her themes run the gamut, as you will see today, from abstract designs to steampunk, minimalist, and very often, and most often, to pop culture. So Jess, so happy to have you here.
Hey, Jess.
Hello. And it's funny because I've seen your work at Aresia for years, and now I get to see the artist behind the art, which is kind of fun.
Well, thanks for having me.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So let's start with, we all want you to take a look at Jess's neck. Well, you can't see Jess's neck, but what you can see that her neck is lovely displaying is one of your silk works.
Yeah, will it mess up my mic to take off?
I don't think so. Just take it off gently.
Okay. Gently, and be aware of where the mic is. And if you guys will hear rustling in the background, that's Jess. So
there we go.
Because it really, here.
I'll take one end, and we'll apologize for any wingy, weird things that happen because of the green screen. But.
Yeah. So this is my koi design. And so there's fish. Let's make sure that the green doesn't go up on the screen, otherwise we'll be sad.
Okay.
But yeah, fish.
But so okay, pretty. And I thought you were just saying you were being coy about your design.
Not that coy.
I am the least coy. So
the least coy.
So this is what I do for fun these days. I just did a snitch theme from Harry Potter.
Oh, wow, that's got to look awesome.
Yeah, it's with a Ravenclaw color.
That's what I always get sorted into.
Yeah, I'm a Hufflepuff.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're a Hufflepuff and you're
a Ravenclaw.
A Ravenclaw? Mm-hmm. I've never done any of those. I don't know where I would go.
You know where you go?
I guessed. I just assume I am.
There you go.
Okay.
If it feels right, it's right. You know, Sorting Hat takes the wizard into account and all that. And we have wizard ones there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes, we
in
do
all the
have
house
some.
colors.
Yes, yes. And if your puffin is huffin, then you're a Hufflepuff. Or Hufflepuff or something like that. Anyways, moving right along.
Ooh. So a pasta machine?
Yes,
really?
a pasta
That's what you
machine.
used.
Yeah.
What started with her.
So the thing about polymer clay is that it heats up very quickly, and so the designs that you are doing can kind of smush very easily.
Oh.
And it's hard to get a very smooth surface. So for example, with this TARDIS,
my TARDIS.
You want to have it as smooth as possible.
Oh, that is pretty smooth.
And so the best way to do that is...
Look, it even has a little police box part.
Yes.
Yeah, I painted that part on because there was just no way.
Oh God, I can't even imagine trying
May
to
I?
do things.
Yes, by all means. What's inside?
It's like Russian nesting boxes.
It is. Oh, look at that. Here's another great example of how a pasta roller is really ideal. I just twisted the two colors, silver and blue, together. Mm-hmm. Just twist, 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 and then put it on itself again and twist, twist, twist. No, you will not be able to see it. It is bigger on the inside, though.
There you go. I love that, though.
Falling. Oh, sorry.
So yeah, so the different colors get twisted. Oh, and then smushed.
So basically, once I cut them into strips,
Mm-hmm.
and then put them next to each other, and then rolled it through the pasta machine, and that's how you get that very nice swirl and very, very smooth.
That is nice. I don't know if we have a nice close-up of it on the screen, but up close you can see this. The silver does have a light sparkle to it, which I love. I love my sparklies.
Yeah.
Yes, we know. You and bling.
I am. I'm a magpie at heart.
She's a blinger.
I am, but I love it. And you've really got the TARDIS blue. I mean, that is a true blue. It is so pretty.
Well, when we were talking about the resurgence of more women in our visual arts, and we've got a female doctor coming.
We
so
do.
That's
It's going to be
great.
great.
Oh yeah, I think people are really looking forward to it. It's always a challenge with a new doctor. It doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter how good they are, the perfect casting, you'll still have a period of adjustment, I think.
Absolutely.
So who's been your favorite doctor so far?
I am definitely a 10th Doctor. I prefer 10th Doctor overall. David Tennant is my doctor.
Was he your first?
No.
Okay, because sometimes people will say, your first doctor. So, yeah.
No. I started with the reboot, so Eccleston was my first, and it was okay. It's all right, but there's something about the intensity that Tennant puts into the performance, and I don't know. There's just. Also, I got to cosplay when my hair was a different length, and that worked out for me just fine.
There you go. So you feel a very good connection. I love Eccleston when he first looks at himself in the mirror. He's like, ooh, the ears. He's a little horrified at what the regeneration has chosen, which I love that moment of his.
Yeah.
And your favorite doctor?
Tennant was my first. I didn't watch the Eccleston one. He wasn't there for very long
one
either.
Season.
Yeah, just one.
So I kind of caught up with him after the fact. And I did like Matt Smith. I know a lot of people didn't, but I liked a lot of things that happened under his doctorhood. I loved River Song. I loved Amy Pond. Spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
I have, because I love the blending of, you have a lot of pop culture references here, but I noticed also there's like that blending of when we blend the pop cultures. And I have a t-shirt of Linus dressed as Matt Smith and Sally in the astronaut's outfit, and she's leaning forward and she goes, "Hello, sweetie," and he's doing his Linus backflip away from Sally. And I
that's
love
pretty
it.
great.
So
good matchup.
and that's where I always wear, and I always wear it to Aresia. But I love, it was River who really helped me to connect with the 11th Doctor. So I kind of liked him on that.
Yeah,
one.
but she was in with the 10th Doctor too. River Song first showed up in David Tennant's world.
Oh, that's right. Did she? I'm not remember, and it's been a while since I've watched. So
she did.
But I love her as a character. I love her. I love her. I love her.
Yeah, there was a lot more River Song in the 11th Doctor. But David Tennant's my one too. Yeah.
There we
So,
go.
anyways, moving on back to some of the other stuff
now
you've
that
done.
we've exercised Doctor Who for a bit. Actually, you can Doctor Who this too.
Oh,
because
yeah, you really
the Starry
can.
Night, there's a wonderful episode that shows the TARDIS being
and
exploding, looking like
I
Van Gogh had
have,
drawn it.
I also do a lot of fiber arts, and so one of my project bags is Starry Night with the TARDIS in it. And
that's
so
great.
one of the things that I did recently was that I did a scarf like this and then put in the TARDIS, and I wanted to show that I have a.
I love it. This is the Altoid tin size.
Yeah.
So that's more.
So this is the T-tin size.
And if you want to carry your art with you,
Yes, or your tea.
or your tea, it's true. This would fit tea
Yeah.
bags.
I use those boxes and I put in business cards because in soft business card cases they.
Oh, the
they
other thing
bend.
gets messed. This would make a wonderful business card case.
Yeah.
They fit perfectly.
Yep. And it
Now I know what I'm going to pick
keeps
up
them
next
good.
year.
And I also keep my my QuickBooks thing that goes in my phone if I need to do credit cards or stuff like that.
Oh,
the
square.
one of those things.
The
yeah.
squares,
Like
yeah,
the
the little.
squares
I use
or
those too.
QuickBooks
Oh,
or something.
that's smart.
Yeah, so I use those boxes for the. I have a lot of uses for the.
Yeah,
Altoid.
I have. I don't think I have the. I've sold it all, but I had one that was a knitting notion, like so it looked like a little lots of texture.
Yeah,
So
things
one-
that rattle around your bag,
yeah,
whatever
and
your bag
so
might
you can
be.
keep your various stitch markers and whatnot in there. One of the
It's
other.
a whatnot box.
It is. So one of the other secret weapons that I have for making this work is that I use a garlic press to do all of this, what I call vermicelli. So it's very textured.
There's much Italian in here.
Yeah,
we have
there
pasta
is.
machines, vermicelli, and now garlic presses.
Yeah.
Oh, to make it all that thin.
Yeah. Basically, I just run the clay through the garlic press, and it extrudes, and then I have to painstakingly, piece by piece.
Place. I think we even have some pictures that will show some of that for our viewers.
So you put the clay through a garlic press.
Yeah.
Right, just sort of
And
like
then
Play-Doh.
you put
like we used
these
to do.
little strings by hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, on here. I can see why she is a subterranean librarian with that attention
Yeah.
to detail.
Absolutely.
There's a crossover there.
Yeah,
This
they
is
have a great
informational
softness
data.
to them, though.
This is informational
You know,
data strains.
I should probably figure out how to do something in binary.
Well, I
It's
think
going to
that-
say SOS.
you know what I think this would be great for.
Mm-hmm.
This would be great to have a scarf that she made inside.
It's a gift box.
Oh,
It's a-
Kevin, you're brilliant.
Yeah, you
There
know.
you go. It's a whole gift set.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's you know you.
Yeah,
You could start doing 3-piece gift sets. You
Well,
know.
one of the reasons why because this of course will fit perfectly.
Of course. I mean, it's just
There, all set.
ta-da!
And then
Boxed and ready to go. Oh, and it's quite flamboyant on
Yeah.
the way out too. There you go.
Well, and one of the things is and seriously, as somebody who's just taken way too many plane trips lately, if you're traveling and you have something like a scarf like that, which is a one of a kind, and if you pack it loose in your suitcase, it can get caught up on something or stuff
yeah.
like this because it strings. Putting it in something semi-protective.
Absolutely.
wow, I hadn't thought of it that way. This is why I love spending time with other creatives because you always end up coming up with great
and this
ideas.
This wouldn't take up much space in your
True.
in your luggage. It tucks to the side and stuff.
Yeah.
Though I actually think this, of course, I love you have this thing with koi, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
They lend themselves.
They really do.
There's movement and there's color and there's.
See, because it also makes me
Flow.
think a little bit. It makes me think a little of yin yang here.
Oh, that was on purpose.
Yeah. So my wedding ring.
Oh, nice.
I designed our wedding rings, and they were the yin yang.
So there you
but
go.
I almost think, give me your. There you
Here
go.
comes the scarf.
See, I actually think, in some ways, this would almost be the better one.
Oh,
Because that's a little
well,
big.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
thematically appropriate.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Yeah.
Koi and koi.
And now you can,
The koi.
yes.
It's the koi package.
I mean, whoever thought that you would see Dr. Kevin Koi?
Being koi. Yeah, it's never going to happen. It's the only way it was going to happen. That is wonderful, though. Yeah, koi do lend themselves, and I've seen them, and we've seen them in other people's art as well. They do. There is something about them that lends themselves. They lend
Wait,
themselves.
I
to,
promise not to put the green next to the green.
next
Sorry,
to the
guys.
screen.
There you go.
And there's just so many. And this one is
My
it's
Day of the Dead.
vermicellied, slightly sparkly. There's some sparkly silver to it.
And there's another Day of the Dead over there with the rose pattern.
I'm assuming
also like one
when
step
you
away
say Day
from,
of the Dad, you're talking about this.
Yep, there you go.
There we go.
Although you could easily then, I know you have Hamilton over there. You could also do this good Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, I could do Phantom of the Opera easily.
yeah.
Change.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say easily because there's no way I could do this. This is an incredible amount of detail and work and planning. I mean, it's got to be a lot of pre-planning.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, it's a heart-shaped box. That's nice. I didn't realize that.
And if you did, again, we're both uber creatives, as I'm sure you are. So all we ever do is people come on with something going, you could do this. You could do
This and this.
Yeah, really, it all becomes a game.
Could you imagine if you turned this into if you did one like this with a Phantom?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and you did the Phantom of the Opera, and then and I think you can easily get it because I have one that does it, but you open it up and it would be no more talk of dogs.
Oh, you need to get a music box.
Little music. Yeah, this would be a great little, instead of a storage box, have
a music box.
Have the box filled.
Yes, you could.
And she mentioned this earlier, so I'm going to say it. Oh dear, it's not a Hamilton. It's a Hamilton.
Yeah.
It's a Hamilton.
Yeah.
Where's the Hamilton?
I want to talk about the Hamilton because anybody who's okay, so I am an information professional. I'm an archivist, and when Hamilton came out, it was just everybody in the office was listening on their headphones, and I'd go up into the stacks and do stuff in the stacks and listen to Hamilton, and so it's the combination of history and primary sources and art. And so this is so I used the modern New York skyline because, I just didn't think that it was going to scan the same way otherwise.
And also he tells this history using the New York of today, how New York looks today. So it seems to work to have New York
and how
looks today.
how things aren't as changed as maybe it should be. So you might as well
use the better skyline.
Right. So, and then you have the iconic Hamilton on the star. But what you can't necessarily see until you can hear, if you look closely at the background, is that I transcribed the last letter that Alexander wrote to Eliza onto.
Okay, the romance in me, the romantic in me just sighed in case you didn't hear it.
I can see this letter and I can see Eliza, but I can't read. But
it's supposed to be subtle, and so I don't know if you can do a close up of that, but it's transcribed the first full paragraph, and I don't know. It's so that's.
Was that letter in Czerny's book?
Writing right there.
I just got it. I went to the internet, of course, and just simply looked for Hamilton's last letter and got a transcription of it and used that as part of my work. So yeah.
That's wonderful. He did. He wrote so many letters, and of course she mentions it in the musical. She destroyed a great number of them, unfortunately.
And then spent a majority of the rest of her life, the next 50 years, trying to make sure that Hamilton's legacy continued.
Yeah.
So, although I think that
she lived quite a long time.
Yeah, 50 years.
After he died, She was in her 80s or 90s when she died.
The orphanage is definitely my favorite part of their story.
And her legacy to the world.
Oh, did you find the other?
Oh, there are more tins.
Yeah. There's more tins. This definitely looks like.
I love the iridescent.
It could be a fence, but somehow it makes me think of it's like a Fort Ticonderoga fence, or it's like a historical, cowboy engine fence type of thing. I don't know why.
I was going for pirate.
Were you going for pirate?
I see. Pirate treasure, with the skull on the front.
Yep.
But I picked it up, and of course there was
rattled.
Treasure. There was treasure. So first of all, we have the rainbow flag.
Oh yes, we have one on the table, but look how shiny that is. And you said when I asked you about a floor polish.
Yeah,
for the shine.
I use floor polish for the shine.
See, and I like this one. I like this one even better than that one because it's purple.
It's purple in the back.
Purple.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
Well, one must find one's.
One must find one's color.
Yes.
And
It's a Zeppelin.
Oh, you had said you did some steampunks. Is this one of those?
Yeah, so this was, I had one of this style with a ship, and then I thought, well, why not an airship too?
Airships are cool.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was looking at it at first. I'm like, well, it's not quite bright enough to be a yellow submarine.
You're really upside down. It definitely has a submarine-y kind of look.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay, now I want to do a yellow submarine
That would make it fun.
with the cartoon, like cartoony, over the top. Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, there you go.
That would definitely go with the others. Oh, now we have some slides up. I have to show. Now, when I introduced you, the tins were not your first use of
That's right.
polymer clay. So let's show this to our viewers, guys. This
Another
is
first use of the
polymer-
pasta machine.
yes.
Machine. Did you ever make pasta with the pasta machine?
Not with that one.
Well, thank goodness. So I want everyone to see these. You had said you'd started with winged creatures, and
Yes.
here are some of them.
Yeah, so there are some dragons and some fey creatures. And this was one of my resource books showed how to do butterfly wings, and I was just obsessed with the various types of wings that you could do. And so I did that until, I just had like a box of butterflies. and so I thought, oh, well, why not make little creatures out of them? And so I did that. Unfortunately, not so many people want dust catchers.
Go figure.
So
I
was just like, I love making it, but I don't want to have a whole other closet just to store my stuff. That's why I like making silk scarves, because you can have 50 of them in one small bag.
And they're constantly being used.
Yeah.
And
Now, my question is, and I'd like to see if we can bring the picture up again for a second, is, so you have, how actually physically big is like the girl that looks like she's maybe doing a hula dance
with a purple skirt?
Yeah, her name's Maui Michelle.
Maui Michelle. So I got
apparently she is doing a hula skirt.
She's about this tall.
You see, I would stick her on a chain as a necklace.
Too fragile.
Too fragile.
Yeah. The thing about polymer clay is that it is very, very brittle.
You don't think of that when you see it on here. It's clay. It's strong.
Yeah, but no. It super glues well. But like the wings on the dragons on the little like crystal balls. Mm-hmm. I mean, the number of times those snap off. I never leave for a show without super glue ever.
Yeah.
So it was all right, but I wanted something that's a little bit more useful and usable, and so something besides just dust catchers.
Dust catchers.
Yeah, because I love would you say her name is Maui?
Michelle.
Maui Michelle.
Yeah.
I looked at that and I was like, that would make such a beautiful pendant or pin or
but
something.
As soon as
it would be a little bit awkward, it would be like the majority of your hand size, and it's not flat. It actually curves. So it would be very easy to break.
That's too bad. That's not
too bad.
Polymer clay, that's just not fair of you, because these are so pretty.
Yeah. I wonder if you, and you've moved on to some wonderful other things, so I don't know why I'm still trying to solve a problem that you don't have. But I wonder if you did it like a choker, so it's kind of laid against here, so it wouldn't bounce against stuff, if it would have more.
That would probably solve some of the problem, or having it have some sort of base, so that if it is curved, it doesn't have as many.
Oh, you put it on something so it would rest more cameo-like.
Yes.
What other pictures? I know we have a bunch of pictures of yours, because you sent me some gorgeous images, and I want our guests to. Oh, this was fun.
I did a lot of ornaments. They didn't have to be for that December holiday that you have
may or may not
celebrate. Exactly. And I'm not a particularly religious person, but I like being able to modify. I know it's ironic, isn't it?
If you only knew where she was a librarian. Go ahead.
If you Googled me, you would know. I work at the Congregational Library. It's not a secret. And so, I'm good at finding things and describing things, but I'm not very religious.
Yeah.
So anyway, I made a whole bunch of ornaments, and the flat ones, which are on the left side there, are magnets too. So you can stick them on whatever is magnetized.
I like the Aardman human sheep.
Yeah, the Shaun the sheep.
Shaun the sheep. Yes.
Yes, Shaun's great.
And at first, I thought on the round ornaments that was Iron Man, but now I'm looking and I'm thinking it's Hellboy.
I did do one Iron Man, but the round ones are Hellboy. Yeah.
Those are great.
Hellboy was my favorite to make because
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
I don't know. There's just something really cute and quirky, and now there's itty bitty Hellboy.
Cute and quirky about Hellboy. Just those two words you wouldn't normally think.
I know,
but
right?
yet.
But the comic Itty Bitty Hellboy is very much in that sort of over the top, sort of extra cartoony style. So
That's terrific.
Well, it's interesting because I see you have Hydra represented.
yeah.
And we have S.H.I.E.L.D. represented here too, although for those who have been watching, those kind of intermingle.
No spoilers, please. I haven't finished the latest season.
All right.
Thank you.
But I just think that doing something like this, I'm just surprised you haven't done Ant-Man because it would be the right size.
It could be actual size.
Well, it's going to show that I haven't really been keeping up with the Marvel-verse as much.
The Marvel-verse
it just keeps going and going and going.
It is.
Yes, and they're going to have Ant-Man and the Wasp.
They are.
I can't wait for that. That looks like fun.
It does look like fun.
I hope it's as fun as Deadpool.
That one also
I
looks
love
fun.
Deadpool.
I love it. I saw a trailer for Deadpool. I was like, this film is not yet rated. Really? What do you
what do you think it's going to be?
Hello, people. And so my younger son, who's into movies, explains it just means they haven't gone through the important process of. I'm like, oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Oh, here's something. This is different.
Yeah. So this actually, the Zeppelin on the seascape is, and this is the version that was originally that I did. But these
you said
are
ships, right?
Yeah,
Pirate
ships at sea. Pirate ships at sea, and these were done for people who requested larger, more art, like to hang on your wall art.
Ooh.
And so,
commissions.
yeah.
Commissions.
So my friends Mink and Andy asked for one, and I said, how about it look like a porthole? And so I made that for them. And
yeah, I love that.
And I think that one has texture. The square one was a very early one, and so I hadn't gotten to texture yet. So.
Oh, so one's more of the pasta machine and one's more the garlic press.
It's not quite. I actually do have texture plates that let you. I'm trying to see if I have any. I think there's at least the background on here and on
I
the
see.
other
Yeah,
side.
it's like ridged.
It's very super textured. It's one of the fastest ways to get a surface done, because once you just kind of roll it over that texture and pop it off and put it onto the tin.
Oh, that's neat. So
you
it's
don't
got
have to spend hours and hours and hours and
With a
hours.
garlic press.
Yeah. So that's my go-to for when I need fast texture.
I like it too. And it's a different texture too,
It is.
because you wouldn't want to put this much design on top of that much work. I mean, if I'm going to put that much work on it, I'm not going to cover it. So I can see we've got a close-up. He's working on that for us, so you can see it's kind of...
This texture is...
The purple one is my favorite one too.
It's more texture, but there's a more to texture-y, slightly three-dimensional. Purple worms.
Purple worms?
Yeah. It's purple worms.
I like that. That's great. But that's cool, the porthole idea. And how big is that? Because I'm sorry, I cut it down.
You know the Danish cookie tins?
Yes.
It's
the butter cookies, yes.
Yeah. It's exactly that size.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Because there's never butter cookies in those tins.
And it's so funny because at the way we look at the angle of it, it makes it look like, and till you said that, I had to actually adjust my eyes to there you go. Because it was like this, So go ahead.
Okay, this next one, when I sent this slide in, our tech crew was like, okay, this is cool. This is really cool looking. Guys, bento boxes.
Yeah, I love sushi. Love
Me too.
Love it. Yeah. Yes. And so one of the earliest types of things that I did when I was a kid with polymer clay was making little fruit baskets and stuff. So each individual piece, I'd make a tiny apple and a tiny banana and a tiny bowl. And then we had a wonderful guide that we went to go visit kind of every week. That was not good for our wallets, but it was delicious.
Yeah, I've gone through that phase
But
too.
yeah, we went to go visit Chef Zhang, and so I think the rectangular one is one that I gave to him. And so, because he was just he took care of us.
That's great. Now, guys, for our viewers who are looking at the tins, remember, and when we pull back out to me, please remember, she's put that bento box, okay, on something this size.
Yeah.
Okay, that's that detail on something this size. That's like incredible. I want to go back to the slide then for a second, because it's perfect. I love
Thank you.
even the bigger square one, which has that one little section which has the ginger and wasabi sitting in it.
Yep.
And we have the tuna.
edamame,
Oh yes, the edamame, and then you have the tuna and the salmon and the shrimp. I mean, it's so detailed. I'm hungry now.
All right, ready for lunch?
I was going to say, you're making me hungry here.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
See, now, and that would be perfect for your chef to actually have shown the lid and had the business cards for the restaurant
I know,
underneath
right?
it.
There you go.
To-
it is.
to take
it's
it with it.
awesome. Or even at the restaurant, just to keep the cards there. But
Yeah.
He
those are
might
so
have, for
cute.
all I know. I should check in with him.
You should, because you're hungry.
You're long overdue.
Yeah.
Do you still do ones like this? I mean, this has got to be incredibly
could-
time consuming.
It's maybe not as bad as you might think.
Okay.
But yeah, I it's a matter of like if there's a request. Oh yeah, I would do
Right.
this in a hot minute. Or a cold minute, because we don't want the sushi to get nasty.
Right. You need cool hands. Cooler hands must prevail.
Yes.
Now the other set of, I know we have one set of slides of ones that you did. Oh, well, let's show this one. Okay, let's show this one.
Oh, now we have that dragon here.
We
don't
do.
Or-
That is a different dragon, but it's
Oh yeah,
sort
that
of a
one's square,
cousin
and this
of-
one is.
And this is the other one.
Yeah.
The
God,
live
this one is. It's like somehow you created mother of pearl.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Which
that
is
was that one
incredible.
was inspired from a Boston Public Library exhibit of bookbinders, and so that one.
So the pages on the.
So the Mokomegane style of bending, like making one thing look like another. If I'm not mistaken, that's what that. So the top half of the slide. That with the dragon and all is absolutely Mokomegane, and it's just sort of like is it stone, is it metal, and
Right. So let's go back to that slide with the round tins and the square tins and the tin tins and there we go. No, tin tin's another thing.
I do think it's interesting that the tin that has the bendo box, which is the one, not the dragon, but the other one.
Yeah.
That on the bottom there was a little thing that said tin box made in China. It does seem appropriate.
Yeah, well,
But just,
we can't
just for the-
control for where our raw materials come from sometimes.
No, but I
But I
think it's
love those
appropriate
round
with the
ones.
art.
Yeah,
Sure.
But those round ones are beautiful. It has like a geode kind of look to it. Now, do you actually ever do that? Do you ever slice things?
That is exactly how that is done.
Oh, okay. So it's almost done like the. There's a glass thing too, like
Millefeuille?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Where you slice it, and there's like all these.
That's exactly how
layers.
that happens. Yes.
So pretty.
Yeah, I've done beads and buttons the same way. I did bow ties for the doctor at one point. We had bow ties.
But again, beads are going to run the risk if they're going to be here of them breaking.
Yeah.
I'll bet.
I did very, very thick buttons.
Oh, that
for
would help.
those.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, whenever you get a cross slice of something, even a person, it always is very interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Ew.
But
Just saying.
I get that.
God.
yeah,
Moving right along.
moving right along.
Oh
yeah.
my God, let's move on to something. Oh.
And there
you
we
had
go.
sent those. That's right. I forgot that. And here they are being used for things.
Yep.
As well.
The bottom picture is my version of abalone. And
Look
so
at those
that
blues and greens. That's
that
incredible.
incorporates using a metallic powder and transparent clay. And so you add the powder to the transparent clay and layer that with very, very thin layers that you push through the pasta roller. And a whole lot of black and purple and green.
You must have been amazed as it was like coming out the other end.
So you have all of these layers and then you have to squish it. And
That just sounds fun.
I know, right?
Okay.
And so you have to get it so it's wavy and imperfect, because it's basically you need to have all of these layers, but they're not perfect.
Right, as nature isn't. So.
Right, exactly. And so as you do the cross section and slice, you never know what you're going to get. So there has to be a certain element of flexibility, and sometimes it doesn't look right, and you just smash it all up, roll it through the pasta roller, and you get something entirely different, and it's gorgeous.
And it's interesting you should say that, because we spoke recently on a recent show about how, as the creator, you think we'd be the ones in control. And
No.
It's really sad. Or I don't know if sad is the right word, but it is amazing if you're not doing this or you haven't done it in a while, you forget that you're in control to a point. And then the art's in control.
And then you have to let serendipity take control and
your own trust in, yes.
Yeah, and see, it's like, oh, well, this didn't work this way, don't force it. Now, let's see if I do that, does that work? And then being willing to take, your second, third, or fifth, or 20th choice.
I have revised to that point, it feels like. So yes, and you're right, you do have to kind of go, is this close enough, or is this something even better than what I had thought, or is it, even if it's not, can I adjust? And that's kind of interesting.
It's the inaction. It's the actual inaction, not inaction, but in action.
Right, 2 words, people.
2 words of Plato's 3-story universe. Just there's the idea, and you take it down into the practical of how I'm going to create it, but then you create it, and the 3 never match.
Never. Well, and I do a lot of knitting, and so one of the things that we think about is, my partner Annie owns a yarn shop, and so she gives a lot of advice to people making creations, and if somebody is going to get right up close to your project and start critiquing your project, well, they're jerks.
And you should hide your projects from them.
And it's like, you just spent 15 hours working on this thing. If somebody's going to get right up and say and just argue about, oh, well, you did that wrong. Oh, you dropped a stitch. Well, then maybe you shouldn't be friends with them.
Or showing them your art at least,
right?
Because that's not where.
Yeah, the circling back around is that. Just like that whole imperfection thing. Don't let perfect be the enemy of done, and only you know what your project was supposed to be like, and you're probably going to critique yourself more than anybody else.
That's true. Nobody knew what that first draft was supposed to look like, or that this character was going to be,
Well, and I'm somebody who knits and crochets.
Excellent.
So I get it, and
Yes, in case you guys can't tell, Jess is not a one-hit wonder here.
She's not a one-trick pony.
No, not even a one-trick dragon.
Or a one-trick unicorn.
Are you one-trick unicorn? There we go, because I have to show them this one.
Yes,
and this
please
is
do.
incredible.
This is my in-progress work.
And thank you for sending these guys, because you guys are going to be amazed. Look at this. This is from spaghetti to...
Yeah, so this is, so the top left is
Oops, I had the bottom 2 reversed.
That's okay. So if you can see the beginning, there's a base layer that's very pale. It's usually just scrap, and I take a template, and graphite transfers beautifully onto the raw clay.
Oh, that's handy.
So I have a whole envelope full of my templates, so I can do. That dragon is different from the dragon we have on the table, but it's the same template.
Oh.
So I don't have to work too hard.
Reinvent the wheel every time.
And so you just have to fill in the details, and then you have to roll little tiny whirls of clay for all of the bits of the dragon, for the scales, and then fill in the background.
So beautiful. So as viewers, in case you're watching, if go clockwise. Start at the top left, and then go right, and then go down.
Yes.
And then go over.
Yep.
And then you can see the progress.
Right. That's pretty much it.
So yes, go clockwise, and you can see how Jess is going to build up that dragon. And I love the colors on.
Yes, that was. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I'm not
non-binary
there we go.
dragon. That's my notion. Yeah.
I love
So
it.
do we have any other pictures? Because I know we're actually getting close to the end of the show.
No, I think that was. We have one more. That's okay.
Group.
Yep.
Yeah, and those are similar to what we've seen here. So good, but I did want to make sure everyone saw sort of the steps that it takes, because it's one thing to see the finished
See, now that one has the skull and crossbones on it, so then I'd go pirate.
Yeah, that's the same one.
There it is.
Oh, I didn't see. I never saw that side of it. I looked at it from this side, and for some reason I thought, Fort Ticonderoga, and I
There
was
you
like,
go.
I don't
Sure,
know
why
why.
not?
Or the Monster Book of Monsters.
And then,
Yes.
if you put the claw.
where were you when I was looking?
He was hiding.
You were hiding. Anyways, Jess, thank you so much for coming and sharing your art and the different things. So, as quickly as possible, what is the next step for Jess as an artist?
More silk.
More
Absolutely.
silk.
What has
Yeah.
attracted you to silk? I mean, a different feel, different medium, different
Oh my goodness.
equipment, different
Yes, it's
ingredients.
different everything. It's instant gratification.
Oh, well, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah,
like running
it's
flat.
I can finish a scarf in, one day, and I will tell you that a dragon box will take me weeks to finish.
Oh,
and
my
so
gosh.
having to market that is really challenging, and trying to convince people, well, what am I going to do with this? People know what to do with a scarf.
That's true.
So they don't have to be convinced that this is a thing. This is basically just a painting that is wearable.
Yep.
There you go. That's a great way to put it. Just to change from the longer term to the
Yep.
more instant and a different way of enjoying one's creativity.
Yeah, it's one of the things is, and sometimes I drive Jeff crazy because if I'm making like a bedspread
Oh yeah, you're going to be
or something like
doing-
this, I'll have two other projects. I'll have a scarf going. I'll have an altar cloth going. I'll have something like
Maybe some
I just
socks.
need to.
Yeah.
I just need to do a little.
Oh, yeah, something portable.
Just a little.
Yes.
Just a little that I can finish up.
Yeah.
And because that feeling of finishing and moving on and is important. It's
Yeah.
an important part of the process.
So speaking about finishing up, we're
Oh,
finishing up
man.
here at Dragons, Unicorns, and Other Creative Creatures. You have gotten your instant gratification fix on the wonderful world of arts. Jess, thank you for coming. We
Thank
appreciate
you for inviting me. It's been fun.
It's
Yep.
been great.
So
If you have a pasta machine and garlic press, you're only one step away from being an artist.
And
Well,
then
a
you
couple
just
more
need
steps.
10 more years and you'll be there.
So think outside the box. How often do we say that to you? We have somebody that has created an extension of herself in wonderful and beautiful ways, and we invite you to do the same. Namaste.